Ever pondered the secret behind our cell's ability to generate energy? It's a complex yet fascinating process called the Electron Transport Chain, or ETC. This process, a marvel of biological engineering, takes place in the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. Picture a bustling city, its energy derived from the constant flow of people and vehicles. In a similar vein, the ETC is a bustling hub of activity, with electrons flowing through a series of protein complexes embedded in the inner mitochondrial membrane. These electrons don't just appear out of thin air. They are derived from fuel molecules like glucose and fatty acids, which are broken down by different metabolic processes. The energy-rich molecules NADH and FADH2 play a critical role in this process, acting as electron carriers. They transport the electrons to the ETC, where the real magic begins. The first stop on the electron's journey is Complex 1, a protein structure known as NADH dehydrogenase. Here, electrons are transferred from NADH to a carrier molecule called ubiquinone. This process releases protons into the intermembrane space, setting up the beginnings of a proton gradient. Next, the electrons move to Complex 2, also known as Succinate dehydrogenase. Here, FADH2 donates its electrons to the same carrier molecule, ubiquinone, further adding to the proton gradient. Ubiquinone, now carrying these electrons, moves them to Complex 3, or Cytochrome BC1. Here, Cytochrome C, another carrier molecule, accepts the electrons. This transfer again results in the release of protons into the intermembrane space. The final stop for the electrons is Complex 4, also known as Cytochrome C oxidase. Here, the electrons are finally transferred to molecular oxygen, which acts as the final electron acceptor. This process results in the formation of water and the release of more protons into the intermembrane space. Now, you might be wondering, what's the point of all this electron shuffling and proton pumping? The answer lies in a process called oxidative phosphorylation. The movement of electrons through the ETC generates a gradient of protons across the membrane. This gradient is like a battery, storing potential energy. A protein called ATP synthase harnesses this energy. As protons flow down their gradient and back into the mitochondria, ATP synthase uses this energy to phosphorylate ADP, creating ATP, the cellular currency of energy. In essence, the electron transport chain is a complex relay race where the baton, or in this case the electron, is passed from one protein complex to another, each step contributing to the generation of a proton gradient. This gradient is ultimately used to create ATP, the energy that fuels all of our cells' activities. So, the next time you're running a marathon or simply thinking, remember, it's all thanks to the hard work of your cells and their incredible electron transport chain.